is a kit that's put together. You'll see that there's gotta be fragile here, but because I'm wearing this up to a power supply. So essentially this is basically a plug and play harness connector on your ND2. You just unplug the existing rear left brake light unit and just plug this between, and it'll provide power and the brake signal to the NeoStrip. So right now I've just got it powered by about 13 volts, just to mimic typically what you get from a car when it's running and the alternator's pushing voltage in. But I think that these modern cars, especially these guys nowadays, are really a well-regulated 12 volts and maybe 12.1 to 12.3. Anyway, so it's powered by 12 volts right now. It's in this sort of running state right now. Obviously, this only works when your lights are on. It won't turn on at all. It's powered by the lights themselves, so something to note. This is a normal driving mode. It's just, or this is one of the sequences, and it's most sequences default back to this just red light. By the way, you're seeing a lot of the sort of individual pixels here. That is something from the camera. It's really quite well blended with the silicone tube. So, and that was the purpose of my going to the silicone tube, is to blend the light so that it really isn't distinguishable as individual pixels. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate, what happens when you apply the brakes. So I'm just going to be pushing 12 volts into the brake signal line, like you're pushing on the brakes. You'll see that I haven't got the whole strip in the view here, but essentially you'll get the sweeping pattern from the center to each of the left and right lights as you apply the brakes. So I'm just basically pretending I'm pumping the brakes right now, but you put the brakes on and that will come on and stay on as long as the brakes are on, and then go back to regular running light mode. So that's pretty much the default return to state after you first sort of start the car and turn on the lights and run the sequence, which I'll quickly go through right now. So sequence number 1 is this. It's just running light mode, right? Sequence number 2, to change the sequence, again, you'll see, oops, camera just died on me here. You'll see that, let me just fix the camera, apologies for that. You'll see that drunken camera going on here. The heartbeat LED, this guy right here. So, you've got a green LED there that's on the controller, just showing you've got power. The heartbeat LED is basically this thing is working, it's waiting for input of some sort, right? The mode change button is here. That guy will flash based on the count for the next mode. So it's currently in mode number 1. When I push it, you'll see 2 flashes. If I push and hold it now, the LED will blink green twice, just to show you it's accepted and saved that mode. So now that will be the same, that'll be the default startup mode for the car every time. And then this mode is actually just for anybody that really doesn't want anything to come on until they put the brakes on. So it's basically brake mode only. So now it only reacts when you're putting the brakes on. Nothing comes on after that. Right, showing off NeoStrip here, the different modes. So what I'm going to go through here is just demonstration of each of the sequences for each of there were actually 10 modes, but I'm going to show 9 because mode number 10 is actually a demo mode of all the other modes put together. So I'm going to walk through each one of those. What you're not going to see here is the sweeping mode when you apply the brakes. You can see that in my other videos. It's also in the description. But essentially what you're seeing here is the normal running light mode for all but one of the modes. When they're done, they all revert back to this mode, and then when the brakes are applied, you get an outward sweeping motion of brighter red lights, kind of like an Audi. So without further ado, let's go through the modes. This is currently mode number 1. Flashes green. This is off for a reason. This is mode number 2. It actually is not got any light on purpose, and then it only sweeps out when braking, or when brakes are applied. So that's on purpose for those that might want a mode like this. And that's it.